Okay, awesome. So everyone, please get out there for the last time. Their, what's it called? The Edison Robot and their cable as well. So we should be able to like press play and see our program pretty much run from last time. So what we're going to do now is please open up EdPy. I'm just going to open this up on my separate screen, and I'm going to share my screen as well. Sorry, I am going to, okay, so just quickly share my screen. Yeah, if you can't see the screen or something like that, to prevent the mistake from last week where I've been talking for most of the class without any of you seeing the screen, just let me know so we can rectify it as soon as possible. Okay, so yeah, so what we're gonna do is launch EdPy again, make sure it's version 2.0. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, let's just do something new. What we're gonna do is we're gonna like just pretty much run this program. So what I want you to do is pretty much press this. So okay, so this looks advanced. This looks very advanced. That's fine. Just press this, and then what's it called? Run this. So just press this on the very left hand side. So clap control driving. So I'm just gonna copy the link here, and then I want you to just press clap control driving, and let's see what this program does. So what it will do is when you clap, you turn the light, and then what's it called? Clap again, and then it will drive right. Okay, this looks more complicated, but just at least just press this for a time being, and then this will pretty much allow us to run this very advanced program.
Maybe we should introduce them to the concept of function, because the function wait clap actually is function.
Exactly. Actually, that's a good plan. That's a good plan. Okay, so we're gonna this is the intention is just to introduce functions. So maybe what I want you to do is just delete everything beforehand. Just delete this, and then just have this. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this code and paste it into the chat. So yeah, so just copy this here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set while it's true. So basically, a function is a command. A function is a command that you what's it called? Well, Mohi, this is the point. Is I want you to write this out. This is the point. So yeah, so what we're gonna do is we are going to run a program here. Just you can just observe. I'll just talk to this, and then maybe you can write it down later on. So what we're gonna do is we someone in the chat. Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to set while it is true. I'm just going to quickly adjust my headphones. What we're going to do is we're going to wait for it to clap. I'll just have a quick look at this again. So it will wait until it claps, and then after it claps, it will run a program. So what we're gonna do is wait for a clap, and then after this, it's gonna drive forward. So let's just say ed.drive. I'm just gonna keep this very simple for the time being. Forward, and then it's gonna do ed.speed, maybe full speed ahead. And what we can do is we will do probably, yeah, just probably like 20 centimeters. So I'm just going to try running this code. I'm copying and pasting the code. While my pushing the code is, it's pretty much allows us to prevent mistakes. In case someone misspells it and it doesn't work, it will save us time. So we're just gonna run this code. It'll take a bit longer. Just bear with us for a second. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna play. Okay, wait, I'm just gonna. Okay, so maybe let's just make it very soft. The purpose of this is like whenever you clap, the thing is going to drive forward. However, just to keep in mind, this is very sensitive to sound. So any slight sound, it's going to drive forward. So maybe just for the time being, let me just use this. Just maybe try this instead. I'm just gonna close this, and then we're gonna. Yeah, this is very complicated. So let's just ignore this. Let's just try running this, and then just see what happens. So I'm just gonna program this again. Wait, just let me quickly on. This is just a sample program. We're gonna see if this works or not. This looks very complicated. Just ignore this for the time being. Okay, so let's just try running this. And then basically wait for the clap. And then it's just pretty much stop, and then we'll wait for the clap. So let's try this again. So I'm just going to put it down again. So here, it's just going to basically wait for my clap. Wait for my clap. So if you be confused, you'll wait for my clap. The right light will turn on, and then you'll wait for a little bit, and then it will wait for the clap again. And then basically, like what we'll do is, if you detect a clap, it will drive forward. Otherwise, if you don't hear a clap, it will drive spin to the right, as you probably saw many times. So this looks really confusing. If this is, we don't have to write this for the time being. I'm just trying to explain to you what the purpose of this code is, and then we'll write our own version. So this is more advanced stuff. This is an example code they gave us. If you're curious, it's on the very left-hand side. So you should see on the left-hand side called clap control driving. So you get to see what they do. You get to see what they do. I want to spend a bit of time explaining this code and try to implement this code, and then we will we'll run this code on our own as well. So yeah, what we will do is we are going to press play again. So I just want to see if you can see this. Okay, so you press play and then wait for a little bit. And then basically, like when I clap, the right light should turn on. And then This is strange. Okay, so maybe the clap sensor is a bit faulty. We can do probably something different. So let's just maybe do something a lot simpler. Probably is some, not fault, but like maybe some sensitivity. So what we may do instead is we will probably just do a simple thing that we've been doing. So pretty much we're gonna just make your Edison Robot drive. We can do ed.drive, the ed.forward. Oh wait, just let's do this ed.forward. All right, just make sure that it doesn't repeat the ed dot whatever ed something twice. What we're gonna do next is we just remember what they do. We have direction, speed, and distance. So let's do ed dot speed, and then we can do like what we can do next is we can do probably like 20 centimeters, and then this is pretty much allows us to pretty much drive forward. So you should be familiar with at least running this code. So just going to connect this. So we're just going to wait for that. Here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take this out, and then you remember, it's just going to drive forward. You drive forward for a little bit. Okay, so the thing is, like, this would be very, if you want to make it drive forward like multiple times, so maybe just say, if you want to say drive forward, then turn right, spin right, maybe like ed.speed 5, and then we can maybe say 90 degrees. So basically, it will tell you to spin forward, it will drive forward, and then it will turn right. So this code, what will this code do is it will drive forward, and then it will spin right. Okay, so what it's going to do, it's going to drive forward, and it will spin right. So yeah, so drive forward, and it turns right. The thing is, like now, maybe let's just reduce this to like 10. So instead of driving very long, 20 centimeters, you drive forward 10 centimeters. I'll just program this again. So here, I hope this part makes sense from like the previous classes. It tells pretty much your program to drive forward, then spin right. So what we'll do is this program will drive forward, spin right. The thing is now, if you want to do in a square, if you want to pretty much go in a square, one way of doing this is doing this 4 times, but this will take a lot of time. This will be a lot of effort. You could do the loop, the loop thing we did, like we can set like the counter equals to 0, but that will be a lot of effort. So what we can do is just to make things a lot easier. Okay, so for example, if you want to like, wait, let me just try to fix this up here. If you want to like do this, if you want to do this again, like if you want to execute this twice, so if you want to maybe execute this 3 times, you have to copy and paste. You can copy and paste this, but this should be a lot of, you have to type this over and over again. It doesn't look ideal. So maybe, so this will pretty much tell us like to run like over and over again. So I'll explain to you the other parts that we'll do later on. Just follow along with this for the time being, and then we'll do some more coding afterwards. So pretty much what we'll do is drive forward, spin, and then drive forward, spin, and then drive forward, and then spin backwards here. So like you will pretty much run the program 3 times. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, but pretty much it. But this is where we will introduce this thing called functions. So what we're going to do is, instead of having to do this multiple times, we can just make it simpler. So what we can do is we add a def, and then maybe just say drive forward. Or we can just call it forward. What we can do, I'll copy and paste this, and then you understand how it does, how it works. And then we can do this thing here called turn right. And then you'll be indented, because that's what Python likes. And then what we can do is we can just make it simpler. You can just make it drive forward, and then we can make it turn right. And then we can do make it turn right, and then we can make it forward. So what we'll do is we'll make it drive forward, and then it will turn right twice, and it will drive backwards from where we came from. So I'll demonstrate this, and then you can pretty much what's it called, copy and paste and try it on your own. So what we would do is you'll pretty much like the same thing, but it's just much easier than just having to copy and paste this code over and over again. So def pretty much is short for definition or define. So we're defining a function. So I'm just going to explain what a function is, but I'm just going to show you first before I explain. So here it's going to drive and then drive backwards. So instead of having to copy and paste, like you can pretty much write the same code here by doing this here, turning right, turning right here, and then you can drive forward. But that's too much effort. This makes it easier, you know. So basically, like you define beforehand what this like function would do, you know, this command. So we defining our special command, we're giving it a name, and we have this particular name that calls this function that runs this command. So I'll copy and paste this code. And you can try on your own end. I'll copy and paste this, yes. So try just copy and pasting this, and then who knows, if you want to have a challenge, make it like turn around and like start in the beginning. So you see how you drive forward, then you drive backwards. What I want you to do is make this start back facing that direction. So originally with this program, the Edison Robot will finish facing this way. I want you to pretty much run a command that makes it run back this way. So I want you to try that. So I'll give you 5 minutes to do that. So if you're confused, this is pretty much writing a simplified way of this command. And every time you call this, it will run this command here. So the challenge is, so pretty much, the challenge is to finish the program, to write the function, to call the function that allows the Edison robot just to face back this direction and again. So instead of having to, for me to like actively like turn it, just I want you to create a program that allows you to pretty much turn around and just pretty much face this way again. So what I'll do is I will stop sharing my screen, and I will just actually I'll pause my screen. I'll pause my screen, and then I will try to show you what I want to do. Because of the fact that when the Edison program finish, it faces that direction. But I want you to finish facing this direction. So I'm just going to quickly set it up right now. And then I'm going to program the Edison. Okay, so what I want you to pretty much program it to do is drive forward, backward, forward, then backward, like this here. So I want you to finish like this. So far, the code makes you finish facing this direction, but I want you to do something to allow you to make it face back to that direction. So I'm gonna like undo what I did, and then I'm gonna resume sharing the screen. But this is pretty much what I want you to do. So I'm just gonna like just run this a few times so you know what to do. The code I made you copy and paste, it pretty much allows you to enable finishes facing this direction here. But I want you to program in a way that allows you to go back this direction. I hope that makes sense. Okay, syntax error is pretty much because you misspelled it. So for example, if I wrote it like this, it will say, you will have to check syntax error, which means I either forgot to close it or I misspelled it. So if I just say dive, if I say dive here, so I'm just going to check the code. See, dive is not meant to be dive, it's meant to be drive. Or if I just forget the comma here, if I forget the comma here, its syntax error means I'm missing something, you know? So that's pretty much it. Okay, does anyone have any suggestions yet? Okay, Mohi, what are you confused about? About the whole thing? Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to, I'm just going to tell you what to write just to get this program. So if you, so I'm just going to first of all, like show you what's the original code, and I'm going to add just one at a time. So you will understand. Hopefully you understand. So here, it will pretty much allow you to, what's it called? Do this here. Just let me just create this. Just give it a few seconds. Okay, so what we'll do is we will have a drive forward. You'll finish here. But now what I want to do is we add an extra turn right. This will be the first hint. Turn right. So what we'll do is we'll face it towards the other direction, but it will not be fully turned back this way yet. So I'll demonstrate. So we're going to run the program. So what it will do is it will run like this, run forward, turn around, but the thing is not fully back here yet. So what do we want to do to make it fully turn back here? Does anyone have a, actually Alex, I haven't heard from you for a while. Alex, what would you do to allow this to turn back here? What command would you call? Do you know, Alex? So you're on mute.
Well, I can just do the ed.drive spin right, ed.speed 5, not 90 centimeters.
Yes, that's good.
Just two more times.
Yes, that's a good That's a good answer. So pretty much you can do this again. You can pretty much type all of this again here. You can type all of this again. I'm doing Alex's suggestion. You can do spin right, and then you can do ed dot speed 5, ed speed 5. But this is a bit complicated. How would you make it simpler, Alex? Because this is already defined here. Does it make sense?
Not quite.
Okay, so what you do, because the thing is like, would you agree this and this is the same, right?
Yeah.
So what I did is I redefined this into a easier term that you would understand. So I'll just show you anyways what will happen. I'll show you anyways what will happen if you write this code. It should still work. It should still work. But I'm just going to program this here. Let me just turn this off. Wait, let me just what you should do. Okay, yeah, Elaine, just get your new battery. Okay, wait, let me just turn this off and turn this off again. Okay, so what it will do is it will run the same program again. See? But the thing is, like, I redefined this function here as turn right. So instead of you having to write all of this, I call the exact same thing under a simpler name. So if I just program this one more time, if I program this one more time here, it should pretty much do the exact same thing. But instead of having to type everything out, you can just call the command using a much simpler name. That makes more sense. So let's try running this again. It's pretty much the same thing, except instead of having to type all of this, you can just make it simpler. So like, say, if you do this, it's pretty much the same as the one above. It's pretty much the same as doing this. Turning right, forward, and then you turn right twice. So what would you prefer doing? Would you prefer writing all of this out or having this defined earlier and just write it in a more simpler way? What would you prefer doing? Well, I'll see you again, Alex. What would you prefer doing? The first way or the second way?
I would rather prefer the second way.
Oh, sorry. Can you say I put the thing. Can you repeat again?
I would rather prefer the second way.
The second way. Okay. But would you say, but the thing is, this is the same, this is pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, just say if you want to like make it spin 4 times, would you want to like call all of this here? Just copy paste, do it 4 times, or would you rather do this? because it's less effort typing it out the second way. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
But you see how this is pretty much, so we define this turn right here, like as this what's it called, command here, you know? Does it make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So it makes it much simpler just to use this instead. What I'll do is I'll show you another example, just to what's it called? I'm just gonna like create a new thing called def. Maybe we can do drive in a maybe call it square. Maybe call drive square. So what we can do is we can maybe do this forward, then we do turn right. This will be the repeat of what we done earlier. We can make it run, do this pretty much run this 4 times and stuff. So we can do maybe counter equals to, maybe counter equals, oh, maybe I'll just do, I'll find a different, I'll probably just do counter equals 0, and then I'll just say while counter is less than 4, it will run this 4 times, and then it will be counter equals to counter plus 1. This is what we did like last lesson, so hopefully this is not too new for like last 2 lessons. So this should not be too new for you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much drive square. We'll make it drive square. Yeah. So we're going to set this up. Oh, syntax error, because I forgot to add this in the end. So let's try this again. Because it combines what we did before and after. So what we'll do is you'll drive in a square. We have this just predefined definition. And then what it will do is that it will drive in a square. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it starts here, we drive in a square like this. So maybe I'll ask you a question. How would I, after driving a square, how would I get the Edison robot just to drive forward and then turn around and drive back again? How would I do this? And I will create another thing for you. Maybe I'll just say U-turn. And then we'll pretty much make this spin 360 degrees. So 180 degrees. How would I, so we have this defined. How would I ask the Edison robot just to, after driving in a square, so you do here 1, 2, 3, 4. How would I make it drive forward, then do a U-turn, then drive back like this? And then how would I do that? Maybe better question is, after doing a square, how would I make it drive forward? Do you have any ideas? Actually, what I'll do is I'll copy and paste this code and you can figure out at least how to make the Edison robot drive forward after driving in a square. And you can't do the ed drive forward. I'll give you 5 minutes to at least figure out how to drive forward. I'll show you back. Okay, well, we did this last week. I think this should look over the old videos, but it keeps track how many times we have like run this entire thing. So when we start, we haven't run it any time. So we started the count to 0. So it drives forward, it will turn, then the count will be 1. So we run 1 cycle, and then pretty much it will do this again here, and then forward, and then turn right. And then you run the second one here, drive, and then turn, the third cycle here, and the fourth cycle, and then it'll be number 4, and then counter will be equals to 4. I wish that EdPy has the ability to add a printer so you can see like what is inputted out here, but this is pretty much the basic gist. You should look at the previous lesson where I explained this more in depth. See if you can understand this again. Okay. Does anyone want to have a shot on how to make it drive forward after driving a square? Probably ask you, Liam. Would you guess on how to make it drive forward after it drives in the square? Okay, how would you do that? Actually, do you want to demonstrate? Nope. Okay. So what we want to do is we will pretty much ask it to drive forward. So originally, before we run this, it's going to drive the square. Wait, let me. Sorry. Before it will do this, I want this to finish where my finger is. So basically, I want this to finish here. So you finish here by driving forward. But how you achieve this? Just before that, I just want to ask it just to drive and finish where my finger is. So what you do is you just add the forward here. You add the forward, and then I'm just going to quickly run this again. Then let's just quickly create. Oh, Liam, if you can't hear me, take out the cable. If you can't hear me, take out the cable. Yeah, I asked you to demonstrate. That's fine. We can just continue on. And I'll just probably do one last program before we end this class and end the term. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Yep, perfect, awesome. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is now, after driving a square, I'll make it drive back here. So drive forward. Right. Let me just draw this again because I need more space. So we're here. Drive forward here. Oh, sorry, more space. Yeah, we'll finish around this area. Now it's here. Okay. Okay. Actually, who wants to take a guess on how to do a U-turn and make it drive backwards? So I want us to make a U-turn and drive backwards. How would I do that? Liam, do you want to try this time? How would I tell the Edison program to make a U-turn and drive back? Can you hear me, Liam? Okay. How would I ask the Edison robot just to, after coming here, to spin around and drive back? How would I do that? So what do is you call the U-turn function here, which will make it spin with around 360 degrees. And then you drive forward. So I'll just demonstrate this one more time, and then you can demonstrate, you can run it on your own end. And then we will finish off the term. So I'm just going to quickly set this up here. It'll take a bit longer. Just bear with us for a second. What it will do is we'll drive a square. We drive a square, then turn around here and turn back. So driving a square, Then turn around back and drive all the way back. And then maybe we do another U-turn. And we drive back where you came from, and then you can pretty much press play again. So I'm just going to program this again. So it will turn back where you started. Okay, so let's just try this one more time. 4 here. Drive a square, then turn around, and then you can press play again. It will do the same thing. Then maybe one more time. Okay, so I'll copy and paste this code, and then, yeah, try running this. When it gets to 7, we'll see what everyone has done. If not, we'll just pretty much end it there, and then you can try doing this on your own time. So I'll give you into, I'll give you into 7 to figure this out. Just copy and paste this, and then run the code. Okay, what's the syntax error? Okay, does it say what line you're on? Well, okay, so for example, syntax error. Okay, wait, sorry. I think I know where I did wrong here. Let me try figuring out what was wrong. Okay, so yeah, you should say a line and then you should highlight. Just copy and paste this again. But make sure you copy everything and don't delete the stuff above. Don't delete the stuff above. So maybe if I just say misspelled something, if I do check code, it will highlight the line that I have an error here. I probably misspelled something, or forgot a comma, or forgot the closing braces. So if I forgot to close the bracket, it will have this error here. The syntax error here, that's weird. We need to maybe check the line before and see if it works. Oh, make sure you maybe include this. Yeah, so maybe the syntax error you may be having is something related to here. You need to add that, what's it called? That colon here, and then it should fix that. Wait for it. And then there will be no errors now. Okay, yeah, so it's almost 7. Does anyone want to demonstrate? Alex? Mohi? No? Okay, yeah, Liam, do you want to demonstrate? Okay, Okay, so what I want you to do is just try this here. Just copy the exact code bit by bit. I'm not sure why it's not working. Just make sure, make sure like you have the exact spelling. This is indented, and then maybe make sure this is indented. So maybe like 4 space here. That should make it work. Okay, well, I need to head off. I hope you learned something. I know Python can be challenging. If you can keep up or partially understand, that's really good. You guys are very smart already. This is adult stuff. So if you can understand this, you are really good. Or if you can understand a little bit of it and how to like run programs in that, you are pretty smart already. Yeah. We hope the class. Good job for keeping this term. If you struggle, that's completely fine. Maybe if you want, just continue with Ed Scratch stuff until you're fully comfortable on how it works. And then when you're ready, you can do the Ed Python. So yeah, if you like Ed Scratch, keep going Ed Scratch. If you want to try more challenging stuff, do Ed Python. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Yeah, coding is hard, but it is very rewarding in the long run. So yeah, that's pretty much on my end. Brilliant Kid Admin, do you want to say something?
Yeah, thank you, Peter. This is the last lesson of the term. It's complicated. I'm pretty sure eventually you're gonna work it out. If you don't, just look at the YouTube and try to do all the syntax to be exactly the same. And you should be able to get it working. Right, I'm gonna unmute everyone. Hang on. Yeah, can everyone unmute to say goodbye to Peters? This is the last lesson of the term. We start in term 3.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. We'll do some more stuff again in term 3. If you want to join next time, we'll do this revision and then hopefully you get a strong understanding next term. Awesome.
Hey, thank you, Peter. I see you all.
Enjoy school holiday and
Enjoy school holiday.
and potentially see you next time. See you everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.